Hey, Science 20, we're back, and today we're going to talk about a little something we like to talk about called climate and weather, something that we do talk a lot about, especially in science, because climate change is a big thing that we need to be mindful of and watch for. So, we're going to start by talking about what weather is. So, every day, I personally like to check to see what the weather is so I know what it's going to be outside. Do I need an umbrella because it's going to be raining? Do I need to wear a sweater because it's getting cooler? Do I need snow boots because it's going to be snowing? Those sort of things. So, uh, predictions uh, made by scientists called meteorologists. These are people that study the weather. They make these predictions, uh, and so they're basing it on the best of their understanding. It's not always going to be accurate, but quite often they're pretty close. Uh, so, for example, um, we could talk about on a given day they estimate what the high temperatures are going to be, how much moisture we're going to receive in precipitation, how much wind there will be, how strong the wind will be, how much cloud cover, those sort of things. Now, weather is the state of the atmosphere in terms of variables such as temperature, cloud cover, precipitation, and how much moisture in the air. And moisture in the air is what we refer to when we talk about humidity. And this is going to be for a particular place at a particular time. So now Earth's climate system is very complex and very difficult to predict. Quite often, if you're following the weather, listening to the weather as part of your newscast, they'll tell you what the weather is going to be like for a week. And usually the next day, the weather prediction is pretty good. But, if it's Monday and you're looking at Friday's weather prediction, by the time you actually get to Friday, you may see a very different um, uh, outcome with the weather. Now, climate is the daily and seasonal weather events that occur in a region over a long period of time. So, weather and climate are not the same thing. Climate is kind of like over a long period of time what the general weather patterns are. So, you may say that this area has a very dry climate. That doesn't mean it never rains or we never see precipitation. Uh, so the day-to-day weather may change and may be a little bit abnormal from the overall climate, but the climate is a sort of the seasonal weather events that we would be accustomed to. Now, tying this in the most recent epoch, the Holocene epoch, which began about 10,000 years ago. This was during the time where we saw a lot of glaciation. So the last glaciation happened. We're seeing a lot of melting from this. People were inhabiting North America by this time. And we know this mostly due to stone tools that we found in Yukon. They've been judged to be approximately 16,000 years old. And scientists have been able to find or might be able to find evidence of humans in North America at an even farther distance in time. But anyway, so the rapid melting of the Laurentine ice sheet opened up a free ice corridor that extended south throughout Alberta, which gave North America's early northern residents a way to move south. Okay. Uh, Kind of switching back into the cause, correlation, and probability when we're looking at weather events. A cause would be a phenomenon that brings about an effect or a result. The correlation is when one phenomenon accompanies another. A probability is the measure of how likely it is that an event will occur. So, for example, in rainstorms, thunderstorms, um, there's a correlation between the thunder and lightning and a correlation between precipitation that would be happening. And then when they talk about probability, this would be like, for example, if they say there's a 60% chance or a 60% probability that you will have rain tomorrow between the hours of 2 and 3 o'clock. So they're predicting there's a good chance we'll have some rain, but there's a significant chance it may not happen. Now, the current epoch is just one time period of warming following several glaciations that occurred during the Quaternary period. If this pattern of glaciations continue, we would expect to see the next glaciation start within the next 100,000 years. Sadly, I'm not going to be around to see that, but it might be happening. Now, if we go back over Earth's history, before the Quaternary period, we saw several blocks of time where we saw repeated glaciations. This goes all the way back to the Precambrian era when we're looking at snowball Earth. So we're starting to see some sort of carryover with some of that. So, anyways, that one was just a quick one on climate and weather and a little bit about and how that ties into the glaciations. So, if you got any questions, let me know. I will see you in the next video.